And we are back. Appreciate y'all for being here. Love you to pieces. We are doing all right. Don't ask us how we're doing. We're doing all right.
We're doing all right.
We're doing all right. You know what I mean? I have been covering camp from home. Bryan Broaddus got another 3 more weeks to cover it in
3 weeks.
Oxnard?
Yeah, 3 weeks. My 105.3, the fan guys, we just finished our show. And so my guys are heading back to Dallas, but I will be out at camp from until the 21st of August. So we got all kinds of joint practices, games. We got all kinds of things going on. So looking forward to it. This will be a lot of fun.
I want to thank Woolchuck for his service, because there's a lot of people that'll rather watch, quarterbacks throw on air or throw the targets, or, they want to see running backs go through the bat drill or whatever. But Woolchuck actually gave us the O-line, D-line video that we was out here hoping for. So shouts out to Woolchuck for getting involved like that. Bryan, here's the first question of the day, sir. 20 people tagged me on Twitter and they asked me about this question. And I think it's pretty valid with what's going on with this team and the people around it and how they're putting this roster together. And they wanted me to ask Bryan what the hell's going on with this. So this tweet right here, Bryan, what's going on with this? What is this? What's going on? And don't say it ain't your vest, because you still got that damn vest on. You still got your clothes. Bryan, what is that?
That is it's funny. Jeff Kavanaugh was my roommate for the last 3 nights at the hotel. And that is a breakfast burrito known as wet. Now, that thing could have been dry. Now, the sauce you see on it is very similar to if you got Old El Paso enchilada sauce and put it on top of that. So you got cheese. So inside of that was all kinds of goodness. Hash browns being the main, but it was eggs and hash browns and cheese. And so, and it was wrapped up in this huge flour tortilla, as you see. And I didn't know when I was going to eat again. So I ordered it, and I'm still full. Believe it or not, I'm still full from this. But it is a breakfast burrito. And I love how they put the orange slice and the piece of lettuce.
Got to make it healthy. Got to make it healthy.
Got to help. But now, okay, Jeff didn't take a picture of his plate. Which he was going to go for. I'm like, bro, you're in Southern California. Why aren't you going for like chorizo, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
He ordered the country fried steak, which is a chicken fried steak. He had the diced potatoes. He had toast, and he had the hash browns. But he didn't show his plate. His plate was bigger than my plate. So this is a little breakfast place in Oxnard, and Jeff and I ate that before we came to practice today. And I'm serious. I'm still full from that meal right there. So it's I'm not too proud of that one. Not too proud. But I'll tell you what, the eggs, the hash browns, the cheese, the enchilada sauce, the burrito wrapper, I'm going to say it kind of all came together. It did come together.
I tell you what, man, seeing this is like ridiculous, but knowing that Jeff has something bigger than this is always the ones close to you that's going to get you, Bryan, bro. It ain't never your enemies. It's always your loved ones that's going to get you like this. Go ahead.
Jeff leaned across the table and immediately took a picture of mine. But he didn't take a picture of the big country fried steak,
phony,
the potatoes, the diced potatoes, the toast, everything else that he had going on his plate. It's covered in gravy, covered in white gravy and all that. And he got halfway finished with his. And I was like, he's like, I can't eat anymore. I just can't do this. I can't, I hate leaving food on my plate.
Yeah.
I hate it. I mean, that is, if you said, what is your worst habit you have? I eat every single bite on my plate. Now, I didn't eat the lettuce and the
that
I
ain't
didn't
food
eat the garnish. I didn't eat the garnish.
Yeah, that ain't food.
But I did devour that burrito with a big glass of cranberry juice. So here we are.
Bryan's not gonna eat till September. This damn thing.
I don't know when I'm gonna eat again. I don't know, man. Out here in California, everybody's left me. I don't know if I have any more buddies to go eat with. Jeff will probably call me when it goes on, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that after he shamed me. The tweets that I got,
yeah,
people were like bro, what's your problem? Gosh, you're gonna have a heart attack. I mean, yeah, I might. I guess I might. But here we are. Here we are.
Jeff out there phony, man. I kind of see him a little different now. Now I don't want a big plate of nothing around Jeff if he gonna take a picture. Put on the
internet. Don't act like that you ordered a pizza for the group.
Yeah,
because he'll push the plate over towards you and then film you with the plate like it's your plate.
Phony
is what he'll do.
Phony. But besides that though, Bryan, we got practice today. Now let me be careful with how I open this up, because yesterday I saw on Twitter that Mozzie had a great day, and then we get up on the show and Jeff and Bryan Broaddus beat the hell out of Mozzie for 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So Bryan, let me just say this again. Allegedly, Mozzie had a good day today. Shouts out to John Oney. John Oney was taking a lot of the video and giving a lot of breakdowns on Mozzie and what was going on. So allegedly, Mozzie had a better day today. Bryan, did he have a better day today?
Yeah, better day. And we were once again down there in the one-on-one area, and I had never met John Oney before.
Mm-hmm.
And he walked up on me and goes, "Oh, okay, this is where the scouts stand." And I'm like, "Oh man, hey, how's it going?" And so I will say this: our little group up there on the platform is getting the attention of the coaches. And so we got to be careful up on our little platform. We got to kind of act like we're.
Are you saying that if it's fans there, oh well, the fans don't really know what's going on, but if you put too many,
not fans, it's the media, because they make the fans keep walking.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if Zimmer ran into me right now, he would yell at me about what we're talking about, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I did notice this. Mozzie did have a better day today, and there was a couple of times in the team period, not the team, excuse me, the individual period, where it was he has to work on the double teams. We talk about the hands, we talk about the feet. There's one rep there where he looked really good going to his left, and I mean with like quickness and like burst, and I'm like, all right. And as a scout, you're always taught, well, hell, if you've seen it one time, you'll see it again.
Yeah.
And there was some stuff in the one-on-one pass rush drills where he, okay, good rep. And then the second one, okay. But you could tell he's a guy that plays on confidence.
Yeah.
He's a guy that plays on, okay. Against Tyler Smith, which is not a bargain at all.
You should never run down the middle. You should never run down the middle of Tyler Smith.
That's the second rep that he went against Tyler Smith, because the first one he got to the edge a little bit better, that right edge.
Yeah.
And you could see he got a little confidence, but it's kind of funny when the way they're coaching Mozzie now is they're walking up to him and talking to him. So they're not letting me hear, get your effing hands, get your hands, and all that. It's more of a come up and talk, but he did have a better day today. He looked like he had a little bit more juice to his game, and where you're kind of like going, okay, the get offs there, the sense of urgency and stuff like that. I get it. I get what Zimmer was doing, and hell, I'm not watching the film every day. I'm trying to watch practice. I'm trying to watch what they're coaching him on. I told Owning, I go, he's part of the drill. I said, get ready for this line coach to drop a bunch of F-bombs on everybody. And sure enough, right out of the gate, all right, you F-bombers. I mean, it was one of those things. And so, yeah, but they're coaching these guys. I mean, I'm not saying it. We're not saying it, Mozzie. I mean, it's for him. He just needs to have some success. And if Mozzie can have some success, maybe that will help his demeanor, body language, his overall psyche, that, hey, I'm doing it, I'm doing it right. Because Zimmer came up and talked to him. Zagina came up and talked to him. They're all trying to kind of work with him, and nobody's given up on him. I mean, nobody's given up on him, but I tell you, they yelled at Justin Rogers today. Justin Rogers has been doing pretty good. So I mean, it's everybody's trying to get through a day here with this with these drills.
Bryan, you said something that jumped out to me, and maybe the average listener won't understand. And look, I'm not the guy to be like, hey, if you didn't play, then you can't. I think everybody should be able to talk about football, right? But there's just some things that people that have played football just understand. Brian, every time I've gone into a one-on-one drill and I was confident, I typically win. But every team got a dog. Every team got a dude that's just the best dude on the team. Funny enough, Justin Hamilton, former Cowboys, one tech or whatever, played for my team, Natchez. So we both play together. And every time he'll roll up against me, man, I'll just have a small. All right, man, he about to come in here with this shit he do. And the confidence really affects you. And what you also put on my mind with that, when Mozzie goes against like TJ Bass or something, you see a different dude, you see a different attack, you see different violence in his hands. But when he's going against Tyler Smith, you can see the lethargic. Mozzie loved to just stand like this with a bad look on his face. He looks uninterested when it's time to go against Tyler Smith because Tyler's a dog, right? But if you go against Tyler enough and you go against a regular left guard, maybe that can be something good for you. So just what you saying, confidence. When Mozzie's going against the second team and third team, he looks much better when he's doing that. But when he's against some dude, Zach Martin or Tyler Smith, it looks a little different, of course. So that's fair you said that.
Yeah, you might remember Henry Thomas that played for the Minnesota Vikings for like 14 years.
Yeah.
When I went up against Henry Thomas at LSU, it was going to be a rough day. When I went up against Tim Tucker, it was a little bit better competition between me and Tim Tucker. You know, Tim and I were a little bit more of an even player. I love Tim Tucker as a teammate.
Yeah.
But he and I were a little bit more even on even playing field. When I was going against an all-pro nose tackle, it was a little bit different. And you're right about Mozzie and the confidence for sure.
Yeah. The timeline.
Music in the background, by the way.
That is Linkin Park Numb. So
is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm right over by the practice field.
Yeah.
And so you never know what's going to happen.
It's not loud though. Like it's
hear it?
Yeah. I mean, I can faintly hear
it.
But
to me. It's loud to me, but I didn't know if it was loud to everybody else.
No, that's good. That just mean Bryan Broaddus got a good ass microphone over there.
Yeah.
The timeline went crazy when Trey Lance found Jalen Tolbert on the right side of the field. And look, man, we just been waiting on Trey Lance to give us something. And like you said, and like many football evaluators say, if you could do it one time, you could do it again. And we know Trey Lance has the arm talent. We know that he has the ability, the athleticism. It's just, can you do it all the time? And this was a dime right in the bucket to Jalen Tolbert on the right side of the field, Bryan Broaddus. So this is one play. If Trey Lance played like trash the rest of the day, I apologize. But this one play had everybody on the timeline with heart eye emojis. Brian, did Trey have a better day today?
Yeah, actually, Trey, the last couple of days has been much better. And we talked about Trey when initially the first several days of practice, the first 4 or 5 days, he was more interested in throwing the ball underneath, and you were kind of thinking, okay, he's just checking it down. But the 2-minute drill, when he drove him down the length of the field, very good drill. Ball was going all over the place. It was on the crossing routes. It was down the field. That's the best pass he's thrown in camp.
Yeah.
But, he's another guy, and they start to talk about confidence. We had, Brian Schottenheimer on with us at 105.3 The Fan, and he's talking about Trey and building, each day, trying to work on something, trying to get a little bit better. They love his footwork. They love his athletic ability. They love the arm talent. There were some things he was going to have to work on with the accuracy. And, the last couple of days, he has been a more accurate thrower of the football. And the questions that are going to be about Trey Lance is, can he find a way when they get down in the red zone, tight red zone, and not make a mistake, not make a mental mistake. Hey, you got 6 seconds left. You got to get rid of the football. Don't hold the ball. Don't take a sack. Don't throw an interception. These are all things that, Trey's got to learn all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And the more experience he get, I think Dak was on the podium today talking about it himself. Trey's got to get more experience, and they're all trying to kind of help each other here. But, it was good to see him take that shot down the field, and great adjustment by Tolbert as well to bring the ball in.
Brian, let me just ask you this and tell me if I'm being fair or not, right? I think a lot of fans get spoiled and they create unrealistic expectations when Pat Mahomes' second, third year he's in a Super Bowl, or Dak Prescott's first year he's going 13-3 and all that kind of stuff. When we see success from quarterback early, it makes you think that every quarterback is really like that. When in real life, quarterbacks really trash for a long time, and they get better when they're 30. And when they sit down for a while towards the back end of their careers, when they really turn things on. We see guys like Geno Smith. We see guys like Baker Mayfield. They just do better later on in life. Jordan Love is another guy that gets better later on in life. Bryan, you got Trey Lance right now. He's not taking Dak's job, so that's out the window.
No.
Do you at least feel that the Joneses are going to stick this last year of this contract out with Trey and maybe try to bring him back for cheap? Trey Lance, like what, 24? He's like 25. He's still a young guy.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're going to move on from Trey Lance to find some other young quarterback, maybe spend another 4th round pick in next year's draft or the draft after that to try to bring in a guy? Or do you think they're going to try to get Lance for cheap and just continue to keep him behind Dak Prescott for another, for just 2 or 3 years? And maybe the initial plan was Trey to push Dak now, but maybe now they're going, all right, if Trey Lance is good when he's 29 years old, that's a win for us. Like, is that where we're going with him, Bryan?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things that you ran through there, and I think you're on to all of them. We know they had a very high grade on Trey Lance coming out of college. Had a top of the second round grade on him. So they know, that they thought enough of him too. If they could have got to him and drafted him, they would have. That would have been one of those blinking light situations that they probably would have been in. But here we are, they're now looking at a situation where, okay, all their quarterbacks are not under contract, but if Trey Lance were to show something in this training camp and show something in the preseason, then maybe it turns into, okay, Trey Lance then becomes, and that's all really kind of predicated on Dak Prescott's deal not getting done. And, when you get a guy like Troy Aikman coming out and saying, hey, the longer this goes, the harder I think it is for him to get it done. Now, maybe they get it done in March, but who's the next quarterback that's going to be signed? Who's the next one that could get extended? I think this is, we get this thing to the season, then I think the Cowboys are going to be negotiating with Dak Prescott at the end of the season. I don't know if, you get this deal done during the season, but to me, it seems very much like that Trey Lance is the fallback position if they move on from Dak Prescott. He appears that is okay. We are going to, and a lot of it depends on too if Mike McCarthy's still here though, Voch.
Sure.
To be honest with you, because what if they hire Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions or somebody like that, and Ben Johnson's like, I had a guy at the Lions I think is better than this guy, or you can sign this guy, or I like this guy in college, or this, that, and the other. You go ahead and maybe make the journey now on that. So I think Trey Lance does fit into their plans. I think he fits into their plans of, let's see him as the backup in 2024 with the potential of what happens in March, as either he is going to be the 2025 guy or he'll be going somewhere else. If they get Dak Prescott done, my belief is that Trey Lance would probably go on somewhere else unless they can get him on a deal that they're very comfortable with. But I do feel like that he is in the role of a backup guy right now, with the thought of, like, if things completely fall apart quarterback wise, that Dak leaves, that he's your guy in 2025.
Bryan, Schoonmaker just can't catch a break.
Did you hear what the injury was by any chance?
I did not, but I just kind of saw this, graphic.
Let's see if I could ask and figure it out.
Cool.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll do some typing. You do some texting
or
whatever.
Talking. I'll do some texting. How about that?
Yeah. But Luke Schoonmaker, man, he's just a guy that can't just he just can't buy a break, Bryan. And I don't think he's a guy that qualifies for the fake injure out for the year situation. I think they'll much rather use that on like Flournoy or something. Deuce Vaughn was on the course today. I think they'll most likely try to use that on him. But I just think that when this tight end room to say that there's not a lot of draft, money put into it, or like draft, equity put into it. Like it's a competitive ass room. Like you got a 4th round pick that's a dude. You got 3 undrafted guys that are just fighting for their spot. You got Princeton Fant, who's really kind of like a fullback tight end type dude, and the quarterback likes him. So if you're Schoonmaker, man, you need to have some of the best days of your life, and you just simply can't right now. I think tight ends and wide receivers are in the same kind of boat. That's why, like, Tyron Billy Johnson making plays, Jalen Cropper making plays, Jalen Tober making plays, and meanwhile, Flournoy over there stretching. And like, man, this ain't the time to be stretching. This ain't the time to be in the tent, man. Cornerbacks, DBs are going crazy. So if you Izzy, you ain't got time to be sitting down, man. So this a bad time for the hurt guys, Brian. And if you're done sending that text, you can go ahead and jump in. But
yeah, no, I have, and
okay.
I appreciate that. I just asked if 86 was okay, and we'll see what kind of response we get. Hopefully we'll get one here before the end of the show. If not, I'll text you, and you can send it out to everybody. Yeah, it's so funny. I'm watching Flournoy over there with Britt Brown, and I'm thinking, as all these other young receivers are getting opportunities, and I know we got time left in camp, but it just seems like to me when you're over there dealing with an injury and you're missing time, it is one of those things. One of those things. We might be we might be practicing out here today.
Cool. Todd Archer said about an hour ago that Luke is out with a groin.
Okay,
that ain't good.
Yeah,
has a long time.
Well, so Archer talks to the same people I talk to, so he would know. That would be. I think we're over here practicing today. Believe it or not, I think we're doing some practice stuff. That all that music and stuff. I thought they were just testing the thing. We might be doing a little mock game action because we got a blue white scrimmage thing. I think we're going to see some young guys getting after it tomorrow. I got to be on TV. Believe it or not, tomorrow I got to be TV guy tomorrow. But yeah. So if Archer's reporting that about, okay, yeah, we're
got a mock game. Cool.
Yeah, we're practicing out here. Okay, we can't watch it.
No, we can't.
If you hear Bones Fossil, that's who's yelling at us in the background there.
I can hear him loud and clear. So
there's no question you're going to hear Bones. What kickoff returns? Here we go. We're playing mock football right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Flournoy, I think to me is it's tough because, like I say, I'm seeing other wide receivers, and I immediately think, okay, practice squad, but there's time. There's 3 preseason games, I guess, and, there's practices left. But, man, you got to get out here and get a start, got to kind of get going. And I just want to see him. He's such a good-looking kid. I mean, he's a good-looking player. And to see him and, if Billy Johnson and some of these other wide receivers are having some success, catching the football, man, I want Flournoy out there catching the football as well. I just feel bad for him right now, and I hope it's not putting him too far behind.
Did you see anything positive from offense, defense, young guys, O-line, D-line, whatever you got for us today? Something because I've said nothing nice to nobody today. So if you got something positive, please let me know.
No, I'll tell you what though, I think that Brock Hoffman is. I think Brock Hoffman is stepping up and really taking this job by the horns. And that's not to say that BB and Shipley are not. I mean, I know Mike this morning in his press conference he brought up Shipley's name as well. And so, there's a competition there. I am looking forward to. There was a couple of times today where, where Cooper Beebe, good combination blocks and things like that, where he was able to like the ball cut behind him. He got second level, secured a guy, then got second level. And so, the movement part of it and all that's good. I really, but I do like what I'm seeing with Brock Hoffman. I think there's an element of toughness about him. You could see him, how he's coming off the ball. It looks positive. I'm really looking forward to this time next week when they're working at the joint practices against the Rams and they're blocking on people that, okay, I kind of know the Cowboy personnel guys. I kind of, the who they've got on their defensive line. I'm kind of interested in seeing, okay, are they going to block these Rams guys? Are they coming off the ball? Are they getting second level? Or, they doing all these things that, because I think with these inside guys, there's been some good stuff from those inside guys, especially Tyler Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know that we were, I think we were asked yesterday about Nathan Thomas as well. And Nathan Thomas showed up a couple of times today. He's a really strong guy.
Yeah.
I mean, a really strong guy. And he's just kind of quietly going along. He's doing his job and stuff like that. I know that Zach Martin, after one of the one-on-one periods, the pass rush, he had a really good rep. And you hear Zach Martin, they're like, I see you, Nate. I see you, Nate. I see you, big Nate. You know, he's being very encouraging to and another thing, as far as what I noticed in practice today, too, in the early period, Micah Parsons really working with Nealon on the pass rush, and they were both rushing off the right side, and you see Micah's like they were kind of going through hands and how to break down hands and stuff like that. So, and Micah was really coaching him up, and you could see Nealon was kind of listening, like, okay, yeah, I see, but. You know, the young kid, I mean, I've admitted this. I think that even Will McClay, when he was with us the other day on 105.3 The Fan, there are things that Nealon has shown up, and it's a little bit more quickness, a little bit more explosive. Look at the stance right there.
Yeah, that's low to the ground. Now that you mentioned it.
Yeah. And so, you know, bendy, you know, that kind of thing. For him to go inside right there, he's setting it up, but there's some pass rush stuff he's done on the edges where he's come around on the outside, you know, instead of going down inside like that. But that's a good path right there. That was a good rush. But, you know, him being able to come around the edge a little bit was pretty good. I'll tell you, the guy, the new guy, Muhammad.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a longer, linear type built guy.
Yeah.
He's got some, we talked about him. He's got some jump and some juice. And Tony is a little bit of a shorter kind of guy. Maybe not as, but man, I'll tell you, with Muhammad, there was a couple of times where I was like, okay, I see why they went and got a guy. This could be one of those guys, all of a sudden, joint practices, preseason games, all of a sudden I know he's going to have to serve. He makes the team. He's got a 1-game suspension because of the stuff, PED stuff, but he looked like today that he had a little bit more jump and juice than maybe what Tony had in working today in the practice.
You know, BB had some pretty good reps today, and there was a lot of people that was you know, kind of asking, because I played center in the 2000s. You played center in the 80s or something.
Yeah, the 80s,
something like that.
Oh, by the way, I did get a text back.
Okay,
it's a minor. He said minor growing injury. I say the word growing wrong. Minor, but that's what. So hopefully with Schoonmaker, but you know, growing's a growing. I mean, geez, it's never a good thing. But it's a minor injury from what I heard from the field just a minute ago.
Even a minor growing is like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Like that's time you need.
It's time. He doesn't need to be standing next to you and I over there. He just doesn't. He doesn't.
As far as
I feel terrible for the kid.
Yeah, for sure. As far as BB goes, right? People was asking me, well, man, Voch, man, he just gotta snap the football, man. But the blocking is there, and you know, most of his reps blocking people, he is kind of whipping whoever's in front of him. Yeah. But you know, just me talking to people about it, just playing center.
Snap. Did you see where the snap ended up?
Yeah, the snap went the damn with the damn Josh Ball back there. Yeah. It almost hit. But I was just trying to explain to people, because I was once a tackle that moved to center. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that you have the luxury of doing at tackle and guard is just firing off and just smoking people. At center, you got to get used to, I'm going to attack you with my offhand. And there's a split second where you got to ensure that you get your wrist flick back there. Because if you move and try to attack, man, the damn football flying all over the place. So you got to snap, step, attack with one hand. And BB's not used to that. BB's used to whooping people. He's used to flying off the football and beating the hell out of people. So I'm ready to just concede that I don't think BB is going to win this job by week 1. I don't think he's going to win the job by week 1. So I'm taking myself out of the election, Brian. I'm no longer in this. Brock Hoffman is most likely the guy. But I also know this, Brian, from my own experience, it don't take that damn long to learn how to snap. So I'm waiting on Cooper Beebe to be ready by week 7. And maybe there's this one thing that we always do here on my show, me and my audience, is you better not get hurt. That's the you better not get hurt game. And that goes for guys like Jordan Lewis. Hey, if you come off the field and Kalen Carson starts tearing it up.
Oh, Kalen Carson can play a little bit now.
Schoonmaker, if you come off the field and Brevin and them start tearing it up, you not getting your job back. Brock Hoffman is the starter, but he goes directly into the you better not get hurt list.
Yeah, I think to me that's I think we had a chance to talk to Brock Hoffman today. He's a kid that he does podcasts and stuff. So he wants to be a media. He trust me, he saw that center from the Eagles is shooting for $100 million.
Man, man. Peyton Manning out here doing the Olympics. Peyton Manning doing the Olympics right now. There's money in this, Brock. There's money in this.
There's money in this. But yeah, he's I think you're absolutely right. To me, the thing with where I missed it was the with BB, because he's played so many different positions, tackle. And you're right. I've done the same thing. In high school, I was a junior offensive tackle. And then in my senior year, I moved to center. And then when I went to LSU, I was a center. But I understand the snap, the step. We played, I didn't play in an era of shotgun snaps.
Yeah.
I played in an era of quarterback under center. And so to me, what they're having to do, the snap, the step, the block, all this, not making excuses for the kid,
Sure.
but I didn't realize how far removed he was from playing center.
Yeah.
We all thought like, okay, see, if you would have talked to the kid, if you go to the combine or something, you talk to the kid or you really watch the kid and study the kid, you're thinking, okay, when's the last time we played center? My freshman year, when we had practice, I dabbled in it a little bit and I'm like I've been gone, okay, maybe the learning curve at center is going to, I just felt like that, with Brock Hoffman that I didn't see it as a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
I saw they did the same thing. What did they do? They added Cooper Beebe. They could have said, no, Brock Hoffman. But they've been telling us the whole time. I know Mike Solari has.
Sure.
He's been telling us Brock Hoffman's his guy. Brock Hoffman. You're like, okay, well, Brock Hoffman's likely going to be the starter for the Cleveland game. And now you got to figure out about the left tackle stuff. Left tackle he was sick today. Yeah. And we were all kind of looking around. So yeah, he had an illness today. So anyway, hopefully that he can bounce back. But I think tomorrow at this blue-white practice scrimmage thing, whatever they have a young guy period at the end. I think they do that still, where all the young guys get a ton of work. And you get to see, and we'll be covering that. That'll be something to be really good to talk about at the end of practice tomorrow when you and I get together again and visit about this.
I would love to see BB play center and guard just in case, because you never know. I think BB can probably step in and compete with TJ Bass as a guard right now, but we'll see. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
TJ Bass there's been a couple of times where TJ Bass has been kind of like, whoa, Rogers ran by him there. Oh, Davis ran by, and you're kind of like, whoa, what that's not supposed to happen there.
Yeah.
But it does. It happens. You take enough reps out here, you're probably going to get beat once or twice out there.
Brian, tell us about Kalen Carson quickly, and then I'll let you go. And you ain't getting nothing to eat, but I'll let you go watch practice or something.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think we're allowed to watch practice. So that's another. I think I'm not going to mosey out there. My credential will be revoked. Yeah. They will send me home. So I'm going to go straight the opposite direction. Yeah. With Kalen Carson, though, I mean, you could tell that Al Harris, Mike Zimmer, they're really taken to a liking to this kid. And they're playing him on the left side. He's super competitive. We saw him get in a fight the other day with Spanford.
A huge man.
The tight end. Yeah. I mean, Spanford grabbed him from behind and Carson turned and wheeled on him, and then next thing you know, they're both on the ground. But the kid is competitive. He's tough. He knows how to stay in position. The deep speed we need to see. Yeah. The ability to carry, but the carry from underneath, the carry in intermediate, all those things are really, really good. He's a smart kid. The other day on the goal line, they had a curl route that came behind him, and he thought he was in position. And Al Harris and and Mike were like, what was the call? And, they got the call, and kid was right, but they want him to, they're talking about alignment and where you need to be. And so, yeah, this kid, he's going to do everything you ask him to do. I love the way that how competitive he is, because he's going to try and knock balls down. He's going to try and get his hands on balls. That kind of stuff. I think that, when you get a young corner and you throw him out there now, no CeeDee Lamb, but these Cowboy receivers haven't been bad. I mean, he's having to deal with Tolbert and Cooks and Brooks, and Billy Johnson at times. He's had to deal with those guys, and it doesn't look too big for him right now.
Well, Bryan, hopefully you get to see something when the Cowboys do their blue-white game tomorrow, because I know they're going to zoom in real close, and I ain't going to see nothing tomorrow on that broadcast there. Michael Irvin's going to come on there and talk. Bryan Broaddus, Nate Newton going to come on there and talk, and they're going to zoom in real close to somebody's socks, and I ain't going to see no football. So when we do this again tomorrow, you will have a lot of answers for me, sir. I appreciate you for doing that.
I'm going to do my best, because it was so funny. I was talking with Alex Lilly, who does Sound of the Sidelines. He's the kid that puts together Sound of the Sidelines, which everybody loves. Yeah. Alex does a great job with that. Well, Alex is in charge now of Training Camp Live. And if you remember Training Camp Live when I ran it, we were like
one-on-ones. We was getting stuff in there. It was scheme.
I'll never forget. And the reason why it changed was Sean Payton. Sean Payton called me one day, and he goes, hey, man, I'm sitting down here at camp enjoying lunch and watching Training Camp Live. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, man, you guys do a great job of filming them one-on-ones. And I'm sitting there, I'm going,
it's a damn shame.
Oh, my God, here's a head coach of an NFL team just getting a free look at our practice.
Yeah.
And I went to Will McClay, I said, and Derek Eagleton, I said, hey, I just got to be honest here. We got to change Training Camp Live. And they're like, well, why? And I go, well, this coach I know is sitting down in New Orleans just getting a free look at our football team. And so that's kind of why we're the way we are right now.
And the very next year we get jerseys with no damn numbers on it. It's Bryan Broaddus' fault. Hey, man, I appreciate you. All this work you're putting in.
I love Training Camp Live.
It was so good. It was so good.
Like it? Did you guys like it?
I was a fan at the time. I'm still a fan, but at the time it was so good. You would get those Tyron Smith matches, that Randy Gregory pass rush stuff. Man, I was like, man, boy, Training Camp Live used to be a thing. But now we zoom in so close that we can't even see, and it's really just a bunch of you. Hey, look at Deuce Vaughn drinking some water, man. Yeah, it's a big year coming for him. Boy, look at Dak Prescott tell Cooper Rush to go in there. Cooper Rush about to throw the football, but let's keep the camera on Dak Prescott, y'all. Let's keep the camera. Listen to me. Bryan, it's not the same. It's not the same. I'm about to go back to Cowboys.com YouTube and go back 6 years ago and go watch some old Training Camp Live when it was top tier.
I used to love Training Camp. When we did it, when we were doing that, I had so much fun because I would get the schedule.
Yeah.
And I would tell, okay, 12:15, we're going to get one-on-one, and we would switch up. We would do offensive line, and then the next day we would do receivers, and then we did team period, and it was like we almost won an award. We won, we were.
Your ass ain't winning no Emmy now with these tight ass shots you got. I bet you ain't winning no Emmys now.
I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get a sports Emmy winning this Training Camp Live. And then Sean called me up. Hey, man, I'm just watching your practice, man. You guys do a hell of a job with this Training Camp Live. And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. Like everybody else in the league is probably doing the same damn thing. So anyway.
Well, Bryan, hopefully we can get an Emmy for the We Doing All Right podcast, because I know Dallas Cowboys. I know Training Camp Live ain't getting one. Appreciate you for being here. We've been putting in a lot of work. I know you tired. I'm tired too, but duty calls, man. Duty calls.
We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I appreciate everybody out there that's commented. And matter of fact, I took some pictures today. Voch, you'd be proud of this. I took a picture today. 2 different people took pictures of me and say, "Hey, I watch you and Voch every day on your show, and you guys do a hell of a job." And I'm like, "Thank you," but also tell us when we suck at it too. But yeah, people are mentioning this by name. So thanks to everybody out there that watches. We love you guys, and we'll keep after this. Trust me, we'll keep after it.
Boy, y'all better not walk up to me and tell me my show sucks. Well, we go have a problem.
I'll tell you what, man. Hey, every once in a while they got to tell you it sucks.
Yeah. I am grateful for everybody that watches it. Yeah. I can tell because everybody kind of pours in that same cycle, like 24 hours, a new show goes up, and you can kind of see everybody tune in every day at the same time. So I'm very grateful to have y'all. Bryan shook hands and took pictures at Oxnard. I'll be in Frisco camp. Bryan, you gonna be in Frisco camp?
Yeah, I'll be there. Absolutely. Can't wait to see you, brother. But yeah, I'm going to be everybody's eyes and ears out here. So Voch is going to tell you, I'll answer your questions in the morning. Feel free to fire them at me on my Twitter account. And right down there at Bryan Broaddus. And we'll give it a go and hopefully get your questions answered. But we should be back tomorrow with some more details about our blue and white scrimmage that you didn't see on TV.
Now, Bryan, I'm sure that we have
DallasCowboys.com too. I think it's on DallasCowboys.com.
Bryan, I'm sure that we have a very powerful friend that can make a phone call.
Sure.
And we can do a Doing All Right training camp live. How great would that be, sir?
That would be fun. We're gonna get that done one day. I promise you. There's some things in the works, and I'm excited about it. And I know our buddy's listening when he'll be listening to us. So we'll make this happen. We'll make it happen.
I got a little jealous, man. You get to talk to him. Jeff said he talked to him. I haven't spoke to him one day. All right, y'all. Y'all hold down for the dose of woes, the peace, and we. Till next time, we love y'all so much. Thank you. Crown.